Esteemed guests, thank you for joining us tonight for the 2022 OMA&D Gala celebration. Welcome. As a reminder, please silence your mobile devices for the duration of the program as we honor our outstanding scholars and this year's Odegaard Award recipient. Now, please focus your attention on the screen as we honor place.
The University of Washington
acknowledges the Kausei peoples of
this land,
the land which
touches the shared waters,
all tribes and bands
within the Suquamish,
Tulalip,
and Muckleshoot nations.
Tonight's MC has partnered with OMA&D for many years to give voice to celebration. She is an Emmy Award-winning reporter and current host of NPR's Morning Edition on KUOW 94.9. Please, welcome to the stage, your MC, Angela King.
Isn't she lovely? I just heard that song earlier today, so look at that. Well, good evening, everyone, and on behalf of the Office of Minority Affairs and Diversity, and of course, the Friends of the Educational Opportunity Program, welcome back. It's so good to see you folks again. You know, at least from the nose down. I was just speaking with Mitch backstage here, and even though it's been 2 years since we have last met in person, I don't know about you, but does it feel like it's been 2 years? Or does this just seem like old hat? This is just getting back into the swing that we have known for years and years throughout the decades. Well, let me ask you this. First of all, if you look under your seats, you will notice that there's nothing there. Sorry, I love that joke. I haven't been able to do something like that in person, so I have to take advantage of my captive audience. You have no choice but to sit with me through the night. But again, my name is Angela King. I am the host of Morning Edition on KUOW 94.9 Seattle. Glad to be back with the UW. And as I mentioned, it's so lovely to see all of you in person again tonight, but we also have some of our friends joining us virtually. And tonight's event is being broadcast on the University of Washington's YouTube and Facebook channels. So folks who deeply care about the OMA&D and of course the Educational Opportunity Program and the EOP scholars, you're all tuning in from far and abroad. If I'm looking at the right camera, I want to say thank you very much for your support of all of the work that's being done here. So we're going to say welcome to our online guests, and we're going to be checking back in with them a little bit later on in the show to get their take about tonight's program. Again, we wish you could be here, but we're glad that you are safe wherever you are right now. So one other note to our remote viewers out there, we have a comments section, and if you want to go ahead and leave a note for us, please go ahead and do so there, and we'll read some of your comments here in the ballroom tonight. So I am so happy to be here with you once again. I am a proud alumna of the Educational Opportunity Program. That's right. And that applause is not for me, it is for the program. I say it every year, the EOP literally saved my life. I would not be where I am today if it were not for the support of the EOP and of course the OMA&D. It's such a special event for me, as many years ago, back in the 1900s and whatever they were, I was honored to receive the President's Award. To this day, it is still one of my absolute highest honors, both personally, professionally, and academically. Now, every year we gather to celebrate the success of our Educational Opportunity Program student scholars and recognize the Charles E. Odegaard Award recipient. And this year we are pleased to honor Frank Aragon as this year's Odegaard Award recipient. And we're going to be hearing more about Frank a little bit later on in the show. But as you just heard, he is beloved, respected, and we are so grateful to have you here tonight. And as we honor our student scholars, you will be seeing firsthand the tremendous impact that the OMA&D has been making over more than decades now to support access and academic excellence for underrepresented, minority, economically disadvantaged, and first-generation college students. These students are not only achieving success in the classroom, but they are making an impact in our community directly through service, advocacy, and of course, their resiliency. Your hosts for tonight's event, of course, are the Friends of the EOP Board, who serve as an advisory pipeline to the OMA&D and support the university's mission to recruit, retain, and educate a diverse student body. So I want to just make this quick little note here. Friends of the EOP President Barbara Lord McLean is not able to be with us in person tonight, but she is joining us virtually. We are loving you from afar, Barbara, and I know she's glad that we are all here together tonight. So with that, I would like to ask the Friends of the EOP Board, who are in attendance right now, to stand so we can thank you for your continued support tonight, through the years past, and for the years to come. Thank you so much. And of course, this program wouldn't be the success it is without the support of the Office of Minority Affairs and Diversity. The staff members put in countless hours, but we are going to actually count the hours for you so you get a better idea of all the hard work they put in. But at this time, I would like to have members of the office or the OMA&D to please stand as well, so we can thank you for your continued support through what's been a really tough time over the past couple of years. Thank you so very much. The OMA&D would also like to recognize Catherine DeHaza, who was previously the OMA&D Director of Advancement. Many of you know Catherine. If you're in the room, you know, we can't help but love Catherine. She is a dedicated person, and she has worked hard through the years to grow Celebration and the EOP scholarship funds to what they are today. And she is joining us online. Hey, Catherine, good to see you, even though it's virtually. Yes, please, let's send her some love across the airwaves, so to speak. Again, Catherine, thank you so much for your dedication to the OMA&D, and we do wish you well in your new adventure, but know that you were missed here. The EOP Scholarship Fund and the program would not exist without all of you and the generous contributions of our corporate, academic, community, and individual friends. Our partners at all levels are listed in your program, so you can just check it out there. But at this time, we would like to recognize them publicly and thank, once again, our corporate, presenting, diamond, and platinum partners. And I'm going to go through the list alphabetically. Please hold your applause until I get through the entire list. We've spent the past 2 years waiting, so I know you can follow that direction. First of all, wanting to recognize our 2022 corporate presenting partner, HashiCorp. The 2022 Celebration Diamond partners include American Family Insurance, AT&T, the Muckleshoot Indian Tribe. Our platinum partners are Alaska Airlines, BECU, Ernst & Young, the Hugh and Jane Ferguson Foundation, Starbucks Coffee Company, the University of Washington Office of the President, UPS, Wells Fargo, and the World Justice Project. So I think, nope, hang on, I got a few more to go through here. Tonight we also want to recognize some of the following newly established funds. The Raul R. Anaya Fund, the David William Foster and Virginia Ramos Foster Endowed Scholarship, the J. Nishimori EOP Endowed Scholarship, the SPEA, or SPEEA, Aerospace Career Enhancement EOP Fund, CMAR Community Health Centers and Swedish Endowed Fund, Benjamin R. Schuyler EOP Fund, Mark Torrance Foundation Fund, the Margot Wyckoff Distinguished Undergraduate Fund. And we would also like to acknowledge 2 new legacy gifts to the OMA&D as well, Ms. Rira K. Moon, excuse me for that, and Ms. Sandra L. Abrahamson. And one other note before we love on these folks, want to let you know, because of their support, revenue from tonight's event will directly benefit the EOP Scholarship Program and Student Services. So again, a huge thanks to all of our partners, corporate, community, and academic as well. Thank you for your support throughout the years. All right, At this time, I have the absolute pleasure and honor of introducing our first presenter. You know her well. She has been a University of Washington faculty member since 1986 and held numerous leadership positions before taking over her current role. She is the first Latina and the first woman to be named the University of Washington president. For many years, she has been a strong champion for diversity on this campus and is a longtime supporter of Celebration. So please help me welcome the 33rd president of the University of Washington, Dr. Anamari Kausei. Good to see you. Good to see you.
It is so wonderful to be hanging out with you folks and to be seeing you in person and to be celebrating in community. I want to recognize a few of the folks that are out here. We have our regents, Constance Rice, Rogelio Riojas, Regent Blaine Tamaki. Thank you so much for being out here. And our student regent, Dealey Barisha. I also want to recognize Provost Mark Richards, and I think I saw Dean Frank Hodge out there, and and we have our two Chancellor Extraordinaires, Sheila Edwards-Lang and Kristen Esterberg. And we have a number of elected officials. This is a room full of power. And we are here to celebrate, but I think it's important to recognize that this is a very difficult time and that many of us are still reeling from the events in Buffalo. And I think that I think we'd be remiss not to start off with a moment of silence for all the victims of racist attacks in Buffalo. So let's just take a minute and reflect on all of those who died in Buffalo. What happened in Buffalo was not only an attack on the people who were killed and their families, it was an entire community that was targeted and terrorized. The horrific attack was an assault on the sense and safety and belonging, first and foremost, of Black Americans, but of all BIPOC, Black, Indigenous people of color, and all our communities. And it was an assault, again, on their sense of safety and belonging. So I hope that today, that our celebration, that us being here in community, can be a small gesture of the solidarity and love we feel here in our community, and a reflection of the commitment that I know we all have to ensuring that this is a place where people can feel safe and welcome. And that's what we're here to celebrate, that sense of welcome and that sense of joy that we have here in this hub ballroom, and for all of those that are joining us virtually. Because this annual celebration is a celebration of the values that we all hold dear and of the incredible people who help our university live up to those values through their passion and dedication. We often talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion as being core values. Well, what that means is that unless we have these conditions, unless we have those conditions met every place on our campus, we can't fulfill our mission. We can't truly educate, learn, and discover or serve the public without having as core values diversity, equity, and inclusion. These values are necessary to make us not just the University of Washington, but the university for Washington and for the world. And as I've been talking to so many of you that I haven't seen in so long, and meeting some of the wonderful students that we're all going to get a chance to meet, Everyone in this room is instrumental in realizing these grounding principles at every level and across every aspect of our university's endeavors. We're not always perfect, and we still have a long way to go. But you, all of you in this room, push us, prod us, and uplift us, and make sure that we live these values. The Office of Minority Affairs and Diversity is doing outstanding work in creating a tri-campus climate that not only enables BIPOC students to thrive, you will see how they have thrived, but it makes learning, living, and working here better for everyone. Again, this isn't about uplifting some people. This is about every single one of us, because we can't move forward together if we're leaving some people behind. And tonight, we get to celebrate, and you get to see just a few examples, because there are many others, of the impact and success of that work. It's all around us. Take time to meet people at your tables. Listen and read about these fabulous students that we're celebrating and of the fabulous work that they are doing. I've got this on my phone, so every once in a while it disappears. It's all around us in terms of the students. It's also around us in terms of our Odegaard Award recipient, Frank Irigon. Or as we all know him, Uncle Frankie. He's being recognized for his work on campus and in the surrounding communities to advance social justice. This joy that we feel, this commitment that we feel, is also present in the engagement and support of so many of you in our room that are making these scholarships possible, that are making this evening possible, that are making the good work of the Office of Minority Affairs and Diversity possible. But I want you to know this is a full ballroom, and we've got hundreds, if not thousands, of people online, but OMA&D's impact can't be contained by a single ballroom or by a single audience. It's a partnership across all three campuses, and it's there. They help every single unit, every single department, every single team realize their values of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and to realize that these are preconditions for excellence. You know, sometimes you have people and saying, you know, what's important to you, access or excellence? You can't have one without the other. They're hand in hand, they come together. And I am so proud to be part of a community that embraces these values. I wouldn't be here. I mean, you know, I wouldn't be here if you weren't a community that values diversity, inclusion, and equity. We still have a long way to go. The events in Buffalo certainly remind us of just how long we have to go and just how difficult the fight is going to be. But when you see our students, and they'll remind you of these fabulous tools that we're giving them and the passion that there's no question that we are going to move forward together, that we will continue to fight for change. Each of us is already part of that fight, and your commitment to the world fills me with hope. These students, I guarantee you, I have been going, Constance and I were talking about how many years I've attended this. It's, you know, I was saying at least 25, she was saying at least 30, probably closer to 30. And after this evening, it's usually at that part of the year when I'm exhausted, I'm tired, another night I'm coming home late, but I come home filled with joy and hope. And that's what tonight is all about. It's a celebration of the future. And when you see our students, when you hear about Frankie. The future is bright, and we're building it together. Thank you. Present our first student scholar. Okay, are you all ready? Are you all ready to be impressed? Our first student scholar is the President's Achievement Award recipient, Leah Kaluna. Leah is a fourth-year student majoring in nursing, and we need nurses. She is Kanaka Maoli, a native Hawaiian and Japanese American who grew up right here in Seattle. And growing up in Seattle, UW was where she always wanted to go. Her father attended UW for his master's degree in mechanical engineering, so the UW campus was already a familiar place for her. After attending our orientation, the Purple and Gold, she was comforted by the focus and support by the services that we had here to help BIPOC students like herself. While at UW, Leah has participated in many OMA&D programs, including the Orientation for Health Sciences Center for Minority Student Program. It is, go Health Sciences. She also participated in the Mentor Power for Success, where she was a mentee for 1 year, and then she became a mentor for 2 more. And she studied at the Instructional Center and the Kelly ECC. Leah was also a Germaine Christen undergraduate scholar at the UW School of Nursing de Tournai Center for Healthy Aging. I need that center for sure. And in the past year, she's worked as a nurse technician at the VA Medical Center through the Valor program, where she helped as a research assistant with Ola Pacifica, a Pacific Islander-led lab at the UW School of Social Work. And she worked with a Sharing History through Active Reminiscence and Photo Imagery Seattle project. She's done it all. She's done the nursing, she's done the health, she's done the humanities, she's done the community service. And that is why the future is so bright. And when she graduates, she's going to complete a nursing residency program at the other UW in Madison, Wisconsin. So, absolutely. We have a beautiful medal for Leah. I am technologically, okay, here we go. One more time, presidential one. All right. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, President Kausei, and congratulations to you, Leah. And I'm just going to make one correction, President Kausei. She hasn't done it all. She's got a lot left to do, and she will continue to make the University of Washington proud, along with the Friends of the Educational Opportunity Program and, of course, the Office of Minority Affairs and Diversity. So, Leah, we've got our eye on you. We're expecting big things. Thank you for all that you've done thus far. You make us proud. Congratulations to you and your entire family. All right, it is my pleasure right now to introduce Rickey Hall, the Vice President for Minority Affairs and Diversity and University Diversity Officer here at the University of Washington. I know you just can't wait to love on him. Just a few more words here. Vice President Hall leads the university's diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, as well as the OMA&D programs and partnerships that broaden college access, support student success, and enhance diversity related to teaching and learning. He joined the University of Washington back in 2016 and has been highly regarded as a leader for diversity efforts in higher education for more than 2 decades. And just last weekend, Rickey gave the commencement address at the University of Minnesota Morris, but we are glad you are ours. And you are here tonight, a longtime advocate for access and student success. Please join me in welcoming Vice President Rickey Hall.
Thank you. Now that's walk-up music. There we go. Thank you. Thank the band. Thank you. And thank you, Angela. Friends, colleagues, scholars, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2022 OMA&D and Friends of the Educational Opportunity Program Celebration Gala. I'm glad that you are here. It's certainly good to see you all. Boy, it's been a while. Thank you for coming. It's really good to see you all. I would like to begin by taking a moment to acknowledge and thank our university and community leaders who are here this evening. Thank you, President Kausei, Provost Richards, Honorable Regents, UW Foundation board members, chancellors, deans, vice presidents, and vice provosts. I saw a number of elected officials, tribal leaders, and to members serving on OMA&D's various advisory committees and boards. I also want to give a shout out to Lamont Woods, the father of one of our scholars who is celebrating his 50th birthday. So thank you for. After what has been a couple of very challenging years, we are thrilled to be able to hold this event in person again and to welcome others who are with us virtually. While last year's event was a success by every measure, there is nothing like being in the same room with many of you. I am filled with joy and gratitude to see faces of friends I have not seen in person for some time. I am also filled with immense pride to see and be in the presence of the students who are with us. We must not forget that this evening is about recognizing student excellence and honoring our community. Thank you. Our mission in OMA&D is to create pathways for diverse populations to access post-secondary opportunities, nurture and support their academic success, and cultivate a campus climate that enriches the educational experience for all. This is a huge responsibility and one that we take seriously. And we cannot realize our mission without our campus and our community partners. Your support and collaboration are critical to our success and the success of our students. This work is not done alone. Many of you have heard me say that diversity is everybody's everyday work. Supporting scholarships like those that we award tonight is just one example. I thank each and every one of you who have done and are doing the work and doing the work with us. And there is still much more work to be done. The pandemic has made more visible inequities many of us knew existed. Inequities to access and opportunities to succeed in higher education have been widened. The disparities we saw as the pandemic impacted American Indian and communities of color more harshly made it clear that the populations we serve in OMA&D, underrepresented minorities, economically disadvantaged students, students who were previously in foster care, and those who are the first in their families to attend college would need increased support. You are helping to provide that support. Your support here tonight helps us remove barriers to student success. Your support helps provide more access and amplifies the impact on our students' lives. With your help, we are doing work to make our common environments more accessible, welcoming, equitable, and affirming in programs like our Educational Opportunity Program, the Instructional Center, the Samuel E. Kelly Cultural Center, and the Intellectual House. Each year, I leave this event filled with hope. Hope because of the generosity of our friends and community members, and because you show up for OMA&D, and more importantly, you show up for our students. Even though we are in a challenging and sometimes polarized world, I remain optimistic. Optimistic because every day I have the privilege to witness student excellence. The students with us tonight are just a glimpse of the outstanding scholars across our 3 campuses. Our students are smart, talented, and they care about their communities and the world in which they live. They are committed to creating a more equitable and just future, and that gives me great hope. Scholars, thank you for your commitment to becoming the next cohort of changemakers. Now, it is this at this time, I have the great pleasure of introducing one of those change makers. Our second recognition scholar and the recipient of the 2022 Wells Fargo Vice President's Achievement Award is James Walters. James, will you join me on the stage, please? James is a first-generation college student and a senior in the Foster School of Business, double majoring in finance and information systems. He grew up in the Puget Sound area, and attending the University of Washington was always a dream of his. Many people told him he would never be able to attend the UW. He persevered and found a way. He began his academic journey at a community college. James transferred from Everett Community College during the peak of COVID and has excelled at the University of Washington. He has placed first in both the business ethics case competition as well as the sustainable agricultural competition. James tells us that competing academically has made his educational experience more meaningful. This summer, he will intern with Deloitte as a step to reach his goal of teaching personal finance for community colleges in Washington State. That's his future dream. Everyone, please join me in congratulating James Walters, the 2022 Wells Fargo Vice President's Achievement Award recipient.
Oh, I wish you could just feel, I know you can feel the joy when you see Leah and James here on stage, and when you also recognize our student scholars here in the room. I mean, I am literally blushing with joy, and it is nice to have these reminders that there are good things in our world right now as we continue to face challenge after challenge and be tested time and time again. These students prove that perseverance is possible. So James, congratulations, and again, Leah, as well to you. All right, at this time, we're gonna check in with some of our viewers online, and I'm gonna have to kind of do as they used to say back in my day, do the lean here. Alvarita Thomas says, good evening from Stafford, Texas. Howdy, thank you so much for joining in, or tuning in, and congratulations to all of the scholars tonight from Stephen Robinson. Stephen, thank you very much for that comment. Also, I'm gonna use my broadcaster's loud voice here. Nicola Cardona Rigor is a student scholar and wishes she could be here in person with everyone, but you are here with us right now, Nicola, so thank you so much for joining us virtually. And I think that's it for now. We'll continue to check in with our online guests. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Now, as we get ready to present the next group of medals to our student scholars pictured in tonight's program, I'd like to introduce you to a group that I got to know last year when we did the event virtually. And I'm so excited to see them again because this group is tight. Chapter 5, go ahead and give us, show off some of your musical talents. I'll be right back in just a minute.
All right. Feel free to dance. Good luck trying not to move. Come on. I'm gonna ask you to put your hands together like this. Come on. Come on, way in the back. Come on, put your hands together. Come on. It's a celebration, right? Alexis, that means you. Yes, there you go. There you go. Hey, hey. Come on. Come on. It's a party tonight. We got Angela King representing the night. We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna kick it off real good. Kick it off real tight. We're gonna do it real good. Come on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's go.
This one's that ice cold Michelle vibe, that white gold. This one's from them good girls, straight masterpieces, styling, wildin', living it up in the city. I got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent, gotta kiss myself, so pretty.
Too hot,
Hot damn,
call the police and the fireman. Too hot,
hot damn,
make a dragon want to retire, man. Too hot,
hot damn,
say my name, you know who I am. Too hot,
hot damn.
a band about that money breakdown. Girls sent to hallelujah, girls get your hallelujah, girls hit your hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you.
See, Uptown Funk gon' give it to you.
Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you.
Saturday night we in the spot.
Don't believe me, just watch. Come on.
Too hot,
Don't believe me, just watch.
too hot,
Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh!
stop, wait a minute,
Fill my cup, put some liquor in it.
and take a sip and sign the check.
Hey, Julio, get the stretch.
You ride to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. And we show up, we're gonna show out. Smoother than a fresh drop skipping.
Too hot,
Hot damn,
call the police and the fireman. Too hot,
hot damn,
make a dragon wanna retire. Man, too hot,
hot damn,
you can say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot.
hot damn.
Come on, band about that money, break it down. Girls teach you hallelujah. Girls teach you hallelujah. Girls teach you hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you.
See, Uptown Funk gon' give it to you.
Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you.
Saturday night we in the spot.
Don't believe me, just watch.
Too hot,
Don't believe me, just watch.
too hot,
Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh. All right, come on, you dub. Let's say it. Say Uptown Funk you up. Say Uptown Funk you up. Let's go, say. Oh, come on now, come on, that's my alma mater. Uptown Funk you up. Say Uptown Funk you up. Let's get it.
Sit uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up.
Yeah, I'm like dance, jump on it. If you sexy and own it, if you freaky and own it, don't brag about it, just show me. I say dance, jump on it. If you sexy and own it,
Saturday night we in the spot.
don't believe me, just watch.
Too hot,
Don't believe me, just watch.
too hot,
Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh,
uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up.
yeah.
Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up.
Oh, yeah.
Uptown, funk you up. 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 Uptown, funk you.
Say what?
Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up.
Say
Uptown, funk you up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I guess that means the mic is hot. Chapter 5, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I know it's hard after that nice little jam session to kind of settle back down and get into our seats, but I promise you the next thing on the menu is worth your time and attention. So I like to do this trick to kind of get your attention. If you can hear what I'm saying, clap once. If you are happy to be here tonight, clap twice. If you are seeing someone in person that you haven't seen in a couple of years and are just so grateful that they are here tonight, safe, happy, and joining your company, let it rip and just have at it. I know there are a few people here I'm happy to see you. All right. On stage with me right now is the Friends of the EOP Board of Trustees Vice President, Mr. Anthony Sanchez, and Director of OMA&D's Educational Opportunity Program, Luz Iniguez. Listen. And we're going to hear much more about both of them a little bit later, but they are on stage right now for the main course, so to speak, the presentation of our Student Scholar Awards. And we're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible because we are a little bit behind schedule, so please save your applause until the end. And we begin right now with the Robert T. and Nancy J. Knight Scholar, Victoria Barebow. Excuse me, I spoke to her beforehand. My apologies. Congratulations to you, Victoria Barebow. Alan Deshawn Bickham. He's the Murray Petrie Baker and Rose Ball Scholar. Our next scholar is Vanessa Gomez, the Cesar Kausei Memorial Scholar. Yeah, okay, that hold the applause to the end thing didn't last very long, but that's good because I'm glad to see you're excited for all of these scholars. Our next scholar is Raymond Howe, the Bank of America Scholar. Congratulations to you, Raymond. Our next scholar is Kai Ho'ope, the Educational Opportunity Program Scholar. Congratulations to you, Kai. Sherbano Jaffrey is the Dr. Gabriel Gallardo Scholar. Congratulations. Veronica Johansson Faison is the Willie C. Freeney Scholarship for Excellence Scholar. Congratulations. Titus Karaoke is the Dr. Millie Russell Scholar. Congratulations to you, Titus. Monet Kerr is the Graduate Student Equity and Excellence Scholar. Congratulations, Monet. Lynn Pham is the William P. and Ruth B. Gerberding Early Identification Program Scholar. Congratulations, Lynn. This is fast. Veronica Pond is the Gary D. Kimura Family Scholar. Christian Sanchez is the QFC Scholar. Congratulations, Christian. Charlene Shirali is the Lydia A. Gonzalez Scholar. Congratulations to you, Charlene. Noah Stanagar is the Del Rio Global Citizen Scholar. Congratulations. Michaela Woods is the UW Athletic Scholar. Congratulations. And last but not least, we have Sang Won Yu, the Friends of the Educational Opportunity Fund Legacy Scholar. Congratulations, Sang Won. And once again, a round of applause for all of our scholars. Thank you very much for all that you've done and all that you are going to do.
Hello, I am Luz Iniguez, the Director of OMA&D's Educational Opportunity Program. Each year, the scholarship applicant pool is extremely competitive. There were just over 300 EOP scholar applicants this year, which made this selection for tonight very difficult. For their academic and personal accomplishments, as well as many ways they positively impact and serve our community, I would like all the 2022 EOP scholars here in the room this evening to please stand and be recognized. Congratulations to you and your families. Now we have the opportunity to learn more about some of these incredible students that were just on stage. Please join me as we watch a short video.
When it comes to an award like this, you know, when you find out that you win something like this, you are like, no way, like, really me?
We have the privilege to honor an incredible group of student scholars. For the past 2 years, we have done this remotely, and this year, we are excited to have the opportunity to be together to honor them live in person once again. Not only are they excelling in the classroom, they are making their communities better through their service, advocacy, and perseverance. Each of these students come to the university on separate journeys, and many have overcome hardship and hurdles to do so. We are extremely proud to honor their success and their resiliency.
Being able to focus my time instead of like finding other scholarships and finding other ways to generate more income, I'm now able to at least start increasing my focus into my project, the Brothers in Color RSO.
I reached out to a lot of past students who are alumni, and they were encouraging me to get, in touch with First Nations, Washable at the Intellectual House, and the American Indian Student Commission, which I'm an intern for. So once I got on campus, I definitely jumped at the opportunity to be able to connect with people in person, was a lot less shy, from not being behind a screen anymore.
The experiences that I've had inside the classroom and a lot of the knowledge I've learned has actually been compounded by experiences I've had outside the classroom as well. So stuff I'm learning in my biochemistry course, I'm applying in the lab when I'm doing my research.
I grew up in a very conservative family, and my parents, they objected me of going into college, of pursuing higher education. That is why when I got the acceptance letter to UW, I was both excited as well as scared. But at the same time, without my family support and being an immigrant, I am pretty much alone.
Just feels really good as a student who does a lot of work behind the scenes to advance racial equity at the graduate school level, to be recognized for it and to be celebrated and seen.
Having access to information and resources around campus, because it can be kind of overwhelming to be at such a big university. So I think it's really helpful to have a community like that to reach out to you about things you may not know about, so it's very insightful.
I started in EOP through OMAD and came back to it and can show how much I've grown from there.
This scholarship is a really good opportunity for me to finalize my studies at the University of Washington.
Their faith in me also boosts my confidence and faith in myself that I can also achieve my college goals.
As a formerly incarcerated student and also a father, every scholarship I get is not only just validating to in industry and out in the workforce, I have to explain my background so much, and college for me, scholarships have really been the confirmation that I do belong here and that I'm worth investing in as a student and also an employee down the road. Any hours I don't have to work to fund my education is that much more time I get to spend with my family and share this experience with my kids and hopefully foster an environment of learning for them. Just that it's never too old to recreate your life. The experience of the people I've come behind that have walked similar paths it's just shown me that change is possible. So it's really opened my eyes to if I can change, and I know that for a fact, then I know others can change.
when I would look back like in my teachers, I never really saw anybody that looked like me or had similar experiences to me, and that definitely makes a difference in like the connections you make within academia and like your connection to what you're learning in the classroom. So I aspire definitely to embed that more into people's education.
Volunteering for the past 2 years since COVID started, and for me, it's been a very meaningful experience. Our center serves a lot of immigrant, low-income, and especially uninsured patients.
I wanted to come to the University of Washington because I was born and raised in Seattle, and the University of Washington has always been my dream to come be. I don't know. It's just the best school in the Pacific Northwest.
Supporting this scholarship, you know, you're providing visibility and opportunity to individuals and communities who are so often subject to erasure and silencing and like violence in all of its forms.
Les quiero agradecer a todos los que han hecho lo posible por entregar esta beca por mí y a otros estudiantes como yo mismo. Muchas gracias.
With a scholarship like this, we can make our dream come true, and it is really important for us to have this kind of opportunity.
Thank you to the Office of Minority Affairs and Diversity for choosing me for this recognition. It means a lot and has been a hallmark of my experience at the UW.
Thank you for this scholarship. और आपका बहुत शुक्रिया ये scholarship के लिए.
In Hawaii, which is where I'm from, we say mahalo nui loa e ke aloha pamehana, which means thank you very much, and then like sort of from like my deepest gratitude or love.
Aren't our students fabulous? They're world changers. They're amazing. It's now my pleasure to introduce It's now my pleasure to introduce you to tonight's student speaker, Titus Karaoke. Titus is a senior studying mathematics. He is Kenyan native, vice president for the National Society of Black Engineers. While studying at UW, he partook in EOP, LSAMP, IC, the EAC, and Avella. When he graduates, he aspires to work as a consultant and also has ambitions to be an entrepreneur. Please join me in welcoming the 2022 Dr. Millie Russell Scholar, Titus Karaoke, to the stage.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Before I commence, I really want to extend my gratitude to you all for attending today's event. It's really life-changing. It's really heart-touching. And thanks to the EOP, thanks to my fellow scholarship recipients, recognition scholars, to the rest of the merit scholars as well. Our love goes to you all. And also whoever brought the food, we really appreciate that. And it'd be totally selfish for me if I didn't mention these guys over here, Chapter 5. So, yeah, so once again, thanks everybody. And now to start my speech. So, I am Titus Karaoke, a mathematics senior at the University of Washington. I'm natively Kenyan, a proud Catholic, and a natural optimist. I started college back in 2018 at Highland College, where I pursued a computer science degree. I then switched to mathematics and thus transferred to the University of Washington in 2020. My professional plans include venturing into technology or finance career, or also fintech, financial technology, and work as either a tech consultant, a business analyst, or a project manager. I wish to acknowledge everyone who's contributed part and parcel to my journey, culminating up to now. First and foremost, I want to thank God, because without him, I am assuredly nothing. Secondly, I dearly want to thank my family for their infinite love and support, and for always being there for me when I couldn't be there for myself. My mom, my sister, much love to you all. And I can't forget all my friends here at UW and college, whose company I sincerely appreciate. Third, with a great heart, I recognize NASB, the National Society of Black Engineers. My fellow board members, my wonderful advisors, and most importantly, the people who privileged me to serve as their vice president this year. And then there are the OMA&D programs. There's LSAMP, and then there's a EOP. And with great gratitude is where I met my advisor, John, who advised me of this scholarship. And because of that, I'm greatly appreciative that I'm giving this speech today. To them all, I'm eternally grateful for that. Attaining this scholarship is a personal milestone, not for its monetary benefits, but as evidence of my growth as a Husky. If you told me 2 years ago that I would become a legacy scholar and address a humongous crowd emerging from the other side of a pandemic, I would not have believed a word of it. The honor of being endowed a Dr. Mill Russell Scholar isn't worth taking for granted. While I never knew her personally, I learned that Dr. Russell was deeply beloved by her students, her friends, and her colleagues. And I am touched by the commonalities we share, both in spirit and in character. The Seattle Times describes the late Dr. Russell as a trailblazer whose mission for change is her legacy because of all the things she did and all the people she touched. And one lesson we can all learn from her life well lived is to abandon the things that derail us from achieving our legacies while here on this earth. And what are those things? Fear, hopelessness, and self-doubt. Abandon them all. Karaoke, my surname, or my last name, means the reincarnated one, or the resurrected one. And because of that, I like to think that I share the best of Dr. Russell and carry her life impact with me. For example, I share Dr. Russell's idealism of positivity and change. And thus, I shall resume from where she left off. To the late Dr. Mill Russell and her family, thank you. To conclude, I have some advice to share that I pray we may all ponder upon moving forward. First, the journey and the destination are equally important. The destination is the ultimate pinnacle of achievement, and the journey dictates the how. Without a destination, there's no metric at all by which we can accord the journey. And without a journey, all destinations, no matter how great they are, become futile. Find the balance in between and enjoy both. Also, acknowledge that new situations will always arise in life, causing a repetitive cycle of new journeys and destinations. And all that, at the end of things, create life. 2, go ahead, dream big, and challenge all your limits, because that's where the fun is. My folk at Nesby know me as the GOAT. And while that has a humorous connotation to it, it also has a mindset of its own behind it. Because by the virtue of being the greatest of all time, one's mindset instantly elevates to doing the unimaginable. Steve Jobs, Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, they're all goats of their own kind, in their own disciplines. But fundamentally, they're not as much different as we are. Everybody, I believe, is a goat at something. And whatever it is, excel at it. It might take time, yes, but when you find it, go for it. Keep it, love it, dream it, and leave it. So my advice for today, be a goat. And do amazing goat things. That way, life becomes worth living. Lastly, is a deep lesson on humility. We can never be too important in life, especially when we realize how tiny we are in the wake of life's inevitabilities. No matter what our socioeconomic standing, our intellect, we're always tiny at the grand scope of things for when life goes south. But that's where humility kicks in. And because of that, go with the mindset knowing that you can be great enough to achieve great things and set limits for what you know you can achieve. But also be humble enough to acknowledge, to accept, and to appreciate the lesson for when life decides to sway the other direction. God bless you all.
I think we need to hear that round of applause again. Seriously. Titus, congratulations. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Let me say, you had me at majoring in mathematics. All right, and then you dropped natural optimist on us. Vice President of NSBE, and of course, carrying on the legacy of our beloved Dr. Millie Russell. Definitely exemplifying her character and wisdom. I hope you really took to heart what you heard from Titus. I learned something, and I've been on this earth for, at least a half century. But you're here to learn something new every day. And that is what Titus, I think the thing I will take away from what you said, Titus, was there's fun in testing the limits. Thank you very much for dropping that knowledge and that wisdom on all of us here tonight. Again, Titus, congratulations, and thank you for making us so proud. And you know, with all that's going on in the world today, it is just so inspiring to hear these students' stories, to see their faces, to feel their joy, their enthusiasm, their excitement to create change and to make this world a better place. And they have, I always think back to when I was in school and when I had the opportunity to be one of the scholars, and I think, you know, back then, I couldn't have competed with these students nowadays. No way, no way, no way. Brilliant, poised, dedicated, and selfless in so many ways. And it's amazing what they've had to overcome over these past couple of years, from ethnic, racial, religious, and sexual gender identity hatred to, of course, the pandemic. And to the student scholars and those in the room who have lost someone to the pandemic over these past couple of years, who still may be in mourning over those losses, know that we have not forgotten you. We hold you dear in our hearts, and those who have passed on as well. Now tonight we have not one, but two surprise auction items up for grabs. Oh my. Recognize that jersey? It's got a little different color scheme to it nowadays, but nonetheless, there's still love there. This is a perfect pair for any collector, so I want to say thank you to Kausei for these donations. Our first item is an official Super Bowl, okay, don't make me do Roman numerals here. It's the Super Bowl championship jersey that was signed by former Seahawks quarterback, Mr. Russell Wilson. Oh, no, I know, but he gave us, hey, he was part of the team. We have to let others move on. We are still proud of what he left behind, which is the signed jersey. And of course, we have the second item. It is a 2018 official Seahawks football signed by Super Bowl champion and former Seahawks wide receiver Doug Baldwin in a custom durable. Okay, there's love from this Baldwin. Okay, that's fine. All right, so anyway, before we get to the actual fundraising portion of the evening, I want to talk to you about the impact of giving to the EOP. Your presence here in this room tonight and to our supporters online. It is a testament to the dedication of this community to the educational advancement and success of OMA&D students now and in the future. We are asking you to take one step further in your show of support for these incredible students and the legacies they are putting out for all of us. Open your hearts financially and invest in our students' studies, their hopes, their aspirations, their ability to change the world and find fun in the challenges. Now, I've had the privilege to host this program, as many of you know, year after year after year. Thank you for bearing with me. This is just, it's a highlight of the year for me. And again, it is such a precious gift to see you all in person here tonight. This program has grown exponentially since I was a member of it, and it is all because of all of you and the support of our corporate and community friends as well. Now, as we know, the need for scholarships has never been greater than it is right now. So I invite you to join together tonight in investing in the futures of not just the students we have seen and heard from tonight and others in the room, but to invest in the next generation of leaders and change makers who have shown us over and over again what they can do with the support that we provide them. EOP is a huge part of student success. For example, and I told you we were going to get to some numbers here. In the 2020-2021 academic school year, the EOP counselors had nearly 10,000 student visits from more than 3,300 underrepresented minority, low-income, first-generation, and American Indian and Alaskan Native students. So let me break that down even further. That's about 40 students per day. And in terms of ROI, we can say without a doubt that our contributions go farther, reach more students, and create better university experiences when we give together and come together as a family. So tonight, in just a moment, I'm going to ask that you give from the heart and challenge yourself as well. If you have had a set figure in mind and you are in a position to maybe pick up the tab for someone else who may not be in that same position. Think about that. And know that your money is well invested. You've seen proof of that in all of the student scholars who have graced our stage tonight, and those also in the room whom I'm sure you will take time to meet later on tonight. Just know that every bit that you give goes a long way to advancing equitable access to education now and for those who come in the future. All right, and it's time to check in with our online supporters again. This is a note from Tracy Hilliard. Tracy, thank you very much. She wants to say congratulations to all of the 2022 EOP scholars and families. You are the heart of EOP. And Tracy, thank you for bringing that up, because I always like to take a moment to acknowledge the people behind these incredible students. I'm talking about family, friends, extended family. We've noticed the students, we've recognized the students, but family members, please stand up so we can thank you for blessing us with these incredible students who will make a change in the future. Stand up, don't be shy. I know you're proud of your children, you're proud of those in your family. There we go. All right. And let's see here. We have another statement here. Okay. This is from, I don't see the name yet, but I'll get to it. I benefited from watching the Ida B. Wells School for Social Justice develop through my high school years and with direct ties to OMA&D. It had a profound effect on my view of education and how a foundation for justice and equity for underrepresented students is vital for success. This is from Nicola Cardona Rigor. Thank you very much for that. And Titus, you continue to inspire. Do go things. Love it. From Jeanette James. I love it too, Jeanette. All right. Well, speaking of doing goat things, let's do it together right now. At this time, I would like to introduce our fundraising auctioneer. You may remember her, Miss Laura Mahalik. Where are you? I hear the voice.
Nice to see you.
Yes, good to see you too.
I'm in the shadows of you.
Oh, no, you're in the spotlight now.
You look good in person.
Thank you. It's
and
good
we
to
look
see you.
good when I see you otherwise too.
Well, you know, compliments and water. That's all this girl needs.
Hello,
I'm good.
everybody. Thank you, Leah, for that. So, it's so nice to be with you. I think everybody in my home is happy that I'm back out in the world too. You know what I mean? It gets a little intense, you know? I wasn't sure over 2 years ago if those were the end times. Someone like me who works with people all the time. It was an amazing 2 years, and I've learned a lot, and I have a lot of insight, but I really love what I do. I know that for sure. And I love being with you. There was a great article I read about collective effervescence. Do you know what that is? It's about the juice that we get off of each other when we're near each other in person. We don't even realize it. Do you know what I mean? And it turns out that the introverts kind of suffered a little bit more than I think they thought they would. I think at first they thought, yay, it's a high holiday. But it turns out that they get the juice, like if you're sitting in a bowling alley in the Midwest, where I'm from, drinking a rum and Coke, and you're not talking to anybody, somebody right next to you with somebody else might be throwing some juice your way. And that's how it works in the world. So just when we thought we really didn't need anybody, it turns out, I think a lot of us know that we do. So thank you for being here, thank you for choosing to be here, and thank you for having me, and thank you for allowing me to get out of the house. So I appreciate it. So, nice to be with you. So, you gonna stay up there with me, Miss A? Do you mind?
I can hang here.
I'd love it.
Oh, yes.
So we're doing a small live auction, just 2 items, Russell Wilson, as you know, and then this football, to kind of get us warmed up. And then we're gonna have a chance to raise our paddles to make a direct cash contribution to the scholarship fund. Okay? So is everybody ready? Yay! Let me see your big cards first. Let me see. Can you hear me okay? I think you can. Okay. Everybody, show me your big cards. I promise I won't like grab them and charge you $10,000. I'll just charge you $5,000. Nice. Okay. So Angela, if you wouldn't mind just reading that description briefly again.
Sure.
Do you have it handy? If not, I do.
I do.
Okay.
Which were we starting with the jersey?
Yeah, let's go with the jersey
Let's go
first.
with the jersey.
I think that's nice.
All right. It is an official Super Bowl Seahawks #3 jersey signed by Super Bowl champion and former Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson. It is framed in this beautiful collector's display. And I'll let you take it from there.
A lot of mixed
Work your
feelings about
magic.
him leaving.
Right.
We expect everybody to stay with us forever. Isn't that something? So good luck, Russell. But nice to have you as part of our Super Bowl win. So here we go, folks. Worth $1 million. Who would like to start us out? And you know this goes directly into the scholarship pot, right? So here we go. What about 2.5? Able to give me $250? What about 2.5? Able to give me $250? Nobody loves Russell Wilson. Yes, you do, sir. $250, 75. Able to give me 75. Now 3 over here. Now 3 1/4. Able to give me 325. 3 1/4, 3.5. What about 350? Able to give me 3.5. Beautiful. 375. 4 over here, sir. 425. Now 5. Able to give me 5. Bidder to buy at 5. Able to give me 5. 5 right here. Yay, Rickey. 5 over here, sir. 6 right now. Able to give me 5.5. What about 5.5? Able to give me 550. Mr. Rickey, you're at 5 there. 5.5. So what about 550? I'll stand right here if you don't mind. Thank you. 550 here. I see you at 600 here. Stay right there, spotter, at 6. Now 7. Able to give me 7. What about 7, Rickey? What about 7? Able to give me 7 for your office, Rickey. Able to give me 7. What about 700? I've got 6 over here. 650, sir. 650. I see you, ma'am. 6.5 right here. Nicely done. 650 right here with our foundation. 700 over here. Able to give me 7. What about 8? Able to give me 8. Beautiful. 8 over here. Now 9. Able to give me 9. Bidder to buy at 9. What about 900? Excellent. 9 over here. What about $1,000? Take me right past $1,000. 1,000 right before you, sir. I have 1,000 right there. I see you, sister. Miss Patricia? Yes, I see you at 1,000. What about 1,100 now? Able to give me 11. Nicely done. 11 right here. Patricia, what about 12? Able to give me 12? What sounds less, 1,200 or 12? Able to give me 12? See, it doesn't work. I've tried that. 20 years now. I've got 11 over here. What about 12 this way? Shall I sell this then for 11? I see you. Nicely done at 12 over here. Sir, what about 1,300 right here for our scholarship fund? Because that's what we're doing. 1,300, sir. Able to give me 1,300. I've got 12 over here, now 13. Beautiful. 1,300 here. What about 14? Able to give me 14. Bidder to buy at 14. My spotter, do I have 14 over here? Able to, beautiful. Now 15. Able to give me 15. Clapping is nice. Yay, we're together. 14, sir. What about 15 now? Able to give me 15. What about 15? Bidder to buy at 15. I miss seeing your mouth, but I'm going to pretend it's smiling at me. Where's my 15 now? I see you at 14. 15, where's the 15, sir? I've got 14 over here, 1,500 here. Now 16, are you out, sir? I'll go ahead and sell this then for 15. One more time at 1,600. I see you going for your card, right there, right in the air. Beautiful.
There you go.
60. It's a seance, you know. What about 17? Do I have 17 now? Able to give me 17. 16 here now. 17 able to, beautiful. 17 here now. 18 able to give me 18, sir. Just go to 2,000. Able to give me 2. What about 2? 17, 2,000 here. 2250. Able to give me 22.5. Hey, sister, what about 21? Able to give me 21. What about 21? Nice. 2,100 here. Sisterhood is powerful. 2,100 here. Now 22. Able to give me 22, sir. Are you out? That's okay if you are. Just double checking. I'll go ahead and sell this then for $2,100. No pressure. Oh, I love it. Just wink. Yay!
There you go.
My spotter, do I have 23? Able to give me 23? One more time. Able to give me 23? $2,300. Nice. 4, sir. Able to give me 24. What about 2,400 now? 23, 24. I feel like I'm a bank teller tonight. A little slower, but moving along. 24, 25. Beautiful. Take us right there. 5 over here. What about 2,600? Able to give me 26? I'll go ahead and sell this. 26 here. She's covering her eyes. Sir, what about 3,000? Able to give me 3. What about 3? Bidder to buy 3?
Oh.
What about 27.5 then? I'll cut you a deal. I've got 26 over here now. 7.5. 27.50. I'll sell this then for $2,600. Is that okay by you? Sold. $2,600. Beautiful. Bidder number right in the air. 171. Hip, hip, hooray! Russell Wilson, go away. Or come back. We'll see you again. Right, Angela?
Right.
Who's your favorite player? Would you have a favorite player, I should say?
Oh, well, I'm a college ball. I'm all about my dogs.
Rightfully
so it's all about college ball for me.
Nice.
So, who bought it? We have a question. Who won? Somebody wants to hear the
171.
name.
I'm not sure what they're asking, but go ahead, Angela.
All right.
Yes.
Well, we're loving you in spirit, but we're going to keep on moving. And Laura, it's very interesting. It started off a little slow.
Yep, no, it picks up. That's
right
it.
up,
We all
picked
remember,
right up.
we're together.
Right,
We're raising
and-
money, right,
absolutely.
for scholars. So here we go. What's our next item?
We have the 2018 official Seattle Seahawks football signed by Super Bowl champion and former Seahawks wide receiver. You love him because we heard it, Doug Baldwin. It is in this custom
Yay.
durable collector display.
Very nice, thank you. So here we go. What about $100? Able to give me one bidder to buy 100, 1.5, 75, 2, 2.25, 50. Here's 75. Now 3. 3 over there. What about 350? Able to give me 3.5, sir? 3, 3.5, 4 right here. Now 5. Sister, you in at 5 right here. I've got 5 over here. Now 6. Able to give me 6. What about 6? I see you. Lose. You're at 6 right here. What about 7 now? Able to give me 7. I see you at 7. 7 over there. Now 8. Able to give me 8. Lose. What about 8? Now 9. Able to give me 9. I've got 9 over here. Excuse me. What about $1,000? Lose. Do I have a grand? I've got a grand over here. Excellent. Yay for $1,000. What about 1,100 over here? 1,200 here. Now 13. 1,300 here. 14, sir. What about 1,400? Right here. You and me. 14. Able to give me 14? Can I see my card up here at 14? I've got 13 over here. Looking for 1,400. Excellent. Nice. Yay. The sugar's kicking in, I think. 14 over here. What about 15? Able to give me 15? Bidder by 15? I'm swinging around this way. Able to give me 15? I've got 1,400 here. I'll go ahead and sell it then for 1,400. Is that okay by you? Okay, just double checking. Whoop, I see you at 15. 15 over here. 1,750 now. Able to give me 17.5? What about 1,750? 16? I'll take 16 then. Right in the air at 16 spotter. Otherwise, I'll sell this right now for $1,500. Looking for 16? Nice. 1,750 here. Is 1,750, 1,700? Are you out? 16 here. 17? Sold. $1,600. Beautiful. Bidder. 283. 283. Yay. How about a round of applause for the mini auction? Yay. But that was quite impactful.
Absolutely.
I love that.
It's
it is
great.
about the journey.
It
right?
is,
I mean, it's
definitely.
about the destination, but to me, it's more about the journey.
Absolutely.
So, and I wanted to add Stevie Nicks to the GOAT list, by the way.
All right.
She wasn't in the script, but Stevie Nicks. Okay. So, I meant to say that earlier to you. So, here's what I want to say, folks. It takes a whole community to support our students, as you very well know. We're asking you this evening, as Angela talked about earlier on a number of occasions, to raise your paddle to support underrepresented minority, low-income, first-generation, and American Indian and Alaskan Native students at the University of Washington. Yay, which is why we're here. Please join me in making a difference in the lives of our students by simply scanning the QR code on your table and making a direct online donation, or by taking an envelope at your table and completing the information and putting it in the white envelope. But in the meantime, we will simply do a raise the paddle, which means that I will be sharing different levels with you, and you can raise your paddle to make a direct cash contribution, and then we trust that you will simply fill it out and put it in the envelope or do the QR code, okay? Does that make sense? So here's the good news. I got some news for you. Ready, Angela?
Love the news.
So the good news is, before we move along here, we have a really generous couple who couldn't be with us this evening that wanted to kick us off at $25,000. Isn't that nice? Yay! Look at the scholars smiling over here. Isn't that something? That's all you need to do is look in their faces, you know? So this is what I want to say. We're grateful to our anonymous couple for that. In 2019, just to back up a little bit, you helped us raise, our goal was about $55,000 during this time, and you helped us get to $75,000. So with that said, we're feeling ambitious tonight, but we just want to make sure that everybody has a chance, so we have different levels to jump in at. We'd like to surpass another $25,000. How does that sound? So we got the 25 in the bag, right? And we're looking for another $25,000. Would anybody like, and I like to ask this question, because sometimes it's a good thing to ask, would anybody else like to contribute $25,000? And this is where it's really quiet. I call that good tension in my fundraising world. Anybody else in at 25 grand? If you change your mind and you think, this will be my contribution of the year, don't forget that little QR code, okay? The next level then would be $15,000. Is anybody interested in raising their paddle in this moment? And I think clapping, it's kind of it elevates, so I would love some clapping to kind of encourage the bidding. If you don't mind, thank you. Anybody at $15,000? Okay. Let me tell you something. I had a nice chat with Noah, one of our recipients of a scholarship. He's from Las Vegas, and he's not leaving Las Vegas, for those of you that will understand this reference. He's actually here. And he's here at the University of Washington. And what his scholarship does for him is it allows him to take a little bit of a hit off of his out-of-state tuition. So, makes sense, right? So I know that in my conversation how grateful he was to be here today to receive this scholarship. So keep that in mind. Now, our wonderful FEOP board president, Barbara Lord McLean, has asked Heather Lingblom to raise her paddle on behalf of Barbara at $10,000. Nicely done. 179. Thank you, Miss Heather. Thank you, thank you. You can keep raising all night on Barbara's behalf. She's not here, so thank you kindly, Barbara, for the $10,000. So we're at 35, but we're 10 in the new pot of money, so we're looking for another 15,000. Is everybody with me? Anybody else in at $10,000? Okay. Now, the next level is $5,000. Would anybody like to make a direct cash contribution right to the scholarship fund at $5,000? I'm looking around the room. Anybody in at $5,000?
Look behind you.
I'm looking.
I got you here. Let's start it off. 5,000 here.
Angela. Way to go, Angela. Beautiful. Easy to do because it's in your heart.
Especially when you know what it goes to. We've seen the product.
Thank you, sister.
Seen the product.
$5,000 from Miss Angela right here, unexpectedly. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate
Nothing to thank.
you.
Thank you.
Really, really nice. Anybody else at $5,000? Okay. Ada, who I spoke with, Miss Ada, she's a former recipient. She's working on her BS in medical anthropology and global health, and she plans on being an OBGYN. Isn't that fabulous? It's a good week to be an OBGYN. As a woman of color, Ada is ready to represent and inspire others. That's what she told me. So thank you, Ada, and thank you for appreciating our donations here this evening for the next year of scholars. So here we go. Who would like to simply raise their paddle at $2,500? Anybody at 25? I'll start on this side of the room. Nice. 248. Thank you, sir. Anybody else in at 2,500? We can change the slide up there. 254. Thank you kindly. 254. Nicely done. Thank you, 208. And thank you, 293. Thank you, 63. This is all at $2,500. You can ignore the screen. Anybody else at 25? Nice. Now, Luis Diego, I'm going to get a little update. Go ahead and clap me over. Can I have a drum roll, please? Thank you. I'm going to get an update where we're at, not including Luis Diego, not including the $25,000 from our wonderful. So on the floor, not including that. Yeah. So that's where we're at. So we're at 2,500, 25,000. Oh, 32,500. Yeah, that's all. We're at 32,500. Yay! We're moving right along. So, anybody else at 2,500? Thank you for the drum roll, you guys. Chapter 5. It's better than chapter 7. Like chapter 8. What is that? Okay. So, I'll stick to my day job. Yep. What was that? I see you. 122. Nicely done. Adding to the scholarship pot. Anybody else in at 2,500? Okay, the next level then will be $2,000. I'll start on this side of the room looking for $2,000, a direct cash contribution. Beautiful. Lose money well spent. Thank you, sister. 138. Nicely done. Anybody else at 2,000? I see you. 179. Beautifully done. Excellent. Yay, getting closer to that 50. Anybody else at $2,000? Okay. Nicely done. How about a round of applause for the 25 and the 2 collectively? Thank you for standing there with me.
Oh,
it gets lonely if I'm here by myself. What about 1,500? The next level then would be $1,500. May I see a paddle up? Excellent. Can I just see you turn that just a bit, sir? Thank you kindly. 252. Beautifully done at 1,500. 119. Nicely done at $1,500. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to have my man, Luis Diego, come on over here with whatever you're doing so you can give me an update. So Christian is grateful for this scholarship, which allows him to focus on both his studies and his presidential role with the first gen group on campus. So Christian says thank you. And here we go, sir. Where are we at? Just tell me. Okay. Drum roll, please. Chapter 5. I know, it's a high-pressure job. I would never want this job.
Maybe we need Titus, mathematics
Where
major,
was Titus?
right?
Okay, you keep
Luis,
adding
you're doing
on.
great.
We'll go ahead and move along here. We're at 50, that's with the 25. Okay, so take the 25 out for now. Okay, thank you. So here we are, $1,000. I'll start on this side of the room, $1,000. 108, thank you, Rickey. Thank you, kind sir. 221, thank you, 189. Dr. Constance Rice, 244. Thank you to the president, 37. Thank you, 271. And thank you, 229. Thank you, 34. I see you. Thank you, 26 and 222. Thank you, 100. And thank you, 40. Bidder number 40. Yay! $1,000 goes a long way. Every amount counts, right?
Absolutely.
Anybody else in at 1,000? Now, the next level, many of you are guests with corporate sponsors whom we're so grateful to. We couldn't do it without them, or corporate connections. So this is directed towards you as a guest, and then everybody else. Guests of Starbucks, for example, or Wells Fargo. Would you kindly raise your paddle, or AT&T? Would you kindly raise your paddle at $500? Or consider it. Maybe you were thinking $250. I'd like to suggest otherwise. Thank you, 129. Beautifully done, Wells Fargo. Thank you. Thank you, 42. Nicely done. This is all at $500. And then over here, I'm working my way, 90, thank you. Bidder 144, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Gutierrez, 105. Thank you, 125. Nicely done. Thank you, bidder 111. Is that Kara Heffley's table over there? Hey, Miss Kara. 114, thank you. And bidder 73. Nicely done. At the Intercollegiate Athletics table. You are my people.
Way over here to the right, Laura.
What was that? Oh, I'm coming around. I'm not going anywhere. Right here. 59, thank you. And 283. Beautifully done. All at $500. How we doing there, my friend? Pretty good? Okay. 250. I'm a little too fast, I think. 250. $250. Just bring it up, wrap it up, come in at 250. Thank you, bidder 405. I appreciate you. Thank you, 72. Thank you, 240 and 172. Thank you, 251. Nicely done. Thank you, 262. Thank you, 74. And I'll come back, 174. Thank you again. And I'm coming around here, 88. Nicely done. And 165. And thank you, bidder 35. And thank you, bidder 82. And I'm working my way this way, looking for 250. Anybody over here at 250? All right. What a nice round. Thank you, 45. Beautifully done. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to get a subtotal here. We might get it at the end, but that's okay. You know, better than never, for example. The next level, then, is $100. I'll start on this side of the room if you don't mind. Anybody in at $100, just simply raise your paddle. Come back in, if you will, at 100. I see you. 291, thank you. 44, thank you. Thank you, 241. Thank you, 62. Thank you, 66. Thank you, 67. Thank you kindly, 124. Again, thank you. Thank you, 165 and 225. Thank you, 143 and 41. Thank you, 269. Beautifully done, Eugene. Thank you. Thank you, 182. And then over here at $100, we're doing a big $100 sweep. Anybody else on this side at 100? Okay. Now, the good news is we're almost done. Almost done. Luis Diego, do we have a subtotal yet? The next level, I'll tell you what the next level is in the meantime. You're doing amazing. This is all like by hand.
Right.
How old school. Beautiful. Without the $25,000, we have $64,950. Wow. So we surpassed that other 25, didn't we? In fact, we more than doubled it. So thank you. Stay with me and get ready to add that 25 in just a minute. The next level and the final level, thank goodness you're thinking, go home, Laura, back to your house where people are sick of you. What about $50? What about 25 or 50? Let's go with 50. 227 at $50. Thank you, 298 at $50. Thank you, 69 and 246. Beautiful. Excellent. Anybody else at 50? I see you right here, 176 and 276. Nicely done. $50. Okay. And then my man right here. Is there an amount, by the way, that I didn't say? Because I did ask for 25, I can always ask for 30, but I don't know that that's gonna be, you know, a possibility in this moment, but don't hesitate down the road. We take payments too, I love that. Couple thousand a month. Okay, where are we at? Drum roll, please. Yay. It's amazing that you're doing this by hand.
I know,
That's
faster than a
something.
calculator even.
Hey,
Wow.
it's old school. Okay, and then go ahead and add the 25. Another drum roll, please. Just drum roll it to death. 8. Oh, I like that number. $80,200. Beautiful. Folks, nicely done. On behalf of your scholarship program, my name is Laura Mahalik. Thank you for having me. Thank you again to Angela. Thank you to the bidders and all those that raised their paddles. And a big round of applause for our fabulous scholars. Stand up again, scholars, so we can see you and love you and appreciate you. We are here for you. That's the truth. Nicely done. Thank you. Thank you, Angela. What an
Laura.
absolute pleasure. My annual visit with you.
It
always
is a
brief, but
joy.
nice.
It is a joy to see you again. And Laura makes giving money fun.
Oh,
that
you're
doesn't
sweet.
happen
Thank
very
you.
often. That's a hard combination to
Thank you.
balance. So,
Well, I
so
appreciate
thank you.
what you do as well. Thank you, Angela.
My pleasure.
Grateful.
And to everyone who has given, thank you very much. For those of you who are not in a position to give right now, thank you for being here. Your support does wonders as well. So we are grateful for you. All right, and let's see here. We're going to keep it moving. At this time, I'm going to welcome back to the stage actually, let me get this right. We are going to introduce the 2022 Charles E. Odegaard recipient. And to present that award is the Vice President for OMA&D and University Diversity Officer, Rickey Hall. Where's his walk-up music?
All right, are we good? Yes, there we go. Thank you, thank you. So, thank you all for giving. It's been a tremendous night. Thank you all. And thank you, Angela. Thank you, and we are very pleased to have Angela King, as always. She is an amazing supporter, as she said, an alum, and she has been so extremely supportive of me, but also our programs, and it's extremely gratifying that a talent like Angela agrees to show up for us and our students year after year. And so we really appreciate you, Angela. Thank you for all you do. The Odegaard Award is named for the late UW President, Dr. Charles E. Odegaard. Each year, the Friends of EOP present this award to an individual, couple, or group whose commitment to diversity furthers the vision Dr. Odegaard set forth over 50 years ago to create opportunities for underserved and underrepresented populations. A long list of community leaders have received this distinguished award since 1973. Will any of our past recipients in attendance please stand to be acknowledged? This year's recipient of the Odegaard Award, Frank Aragon, Frank is a shining example of what celebration represents. I have tremendous respect for Frank Aragon and all that he has done to advance rights for underrepresented, underserved, and marginalized communities. I have become quite fond of Frank and his wonderful wife and partner, Felicita. We have developed a relationship, although I remind him, as Felicita can attest to this, I remind him quite often that he was not happy when I was hired. And he made it known. He made it known. He was not happy about my hire. And the word got back to me. The fact that we now have mutual respect for each other and each other's work is deeply gratifying. It lets me know that Frank trusts me and that he knows that I really care about the students and have the best interests of students in OMA&D. Through his community activism, civic engagement, and mentorship of young people, Frank Aragon is being the difference that makes a difference. When I met with Frank and Felicita to ask them if they would let us recognize Frank as this year's Odegaard Award recipient, Felicita said something that is true and unfortunate. She said, "Is this really true? They don't honor people like us. They see us as troublemakers." Frank has gotten into what my fraternity brother, the late Honorable John Lewis, calls good trouble. The type of trouble that we need more of if we are to become the just community and world that most of us desire. So now please join me as we watch a short video featuring Frank Aragon, my favorite troublemaker.
Our first sergeant took us all together, blacks and Asians and Hispanics, well, Chicanos. And he told us we were all one color. And so we all looked at each other and said, But that's when I became aware of racism in the military. Well, what was special was I never thought I'd be able to attend the University of Washington. I remember this comedian telling us that his grades were all wet. And that was because they were below sea level. And so I could relate to that. And so the Educational Opportunity Program gave me a pathway into the University of Washington.
We are extremely pleased to honor Frank Aragon as this year's Odegaard Award recipient. Frank epitomizes Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s quotes, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." As a student at the University of Washington, Frank was involved in protests to ensure the campus was accessible and welcoming to and supportive of Asian and Pacific Islander students, as well as other underrepresented students. In the community, Frank has been engaged in efforts to preserve the International District, has walked alongside those demanding indigenous rights, those protesting police brutality against black bodies, those fighting for the right to love those of the same sex. In short, if there is injustice, Frank is willing to take it on.
When he was an undergraduate student, part of how he was able to go to the UW financially was to join ROTC. Frank would go to his ROTC classes or whatever with his full uniform on, go in the restroom, take the uniform off and roll it up and put it in a grocery bag. And then he'd be out in the quad or someplace protesting what was going on politically.
We wanted monies for Asian Week, Black Week, Chicano Week. We couldn't get it from the University of Washington. And we were so disappointed. Ralph Anderson, I think that was his name. He was president of ASUW. He said, you know, if you guys want anything done, you guys are gonna have to run for office. And that's what we did. Yeah, we formed a minority feminist slate and won. We were able to take over student government and get what we wanted. But personally, I wasn't prepared. I didn't know much about Robert Rules of Order. You know, to me, whoever yelled the loudest got the floor.
As long as I've known Frank, he's always been involved, you know, in that short period of time. And that's what attracted me to him, actually. His involvement and I think his courage into going into something and doing something and trying to get through it. Even right now with the community that he's involved, the issues that he's involved in, he follows through.
Before I met him, I heard all kinds of things about him, and it was not good. You know, people said, Frank is a radical. And, you know, being a journalist myself, you don't take things at face value. But the more I get to know Frank, the more I know that it is not just a simple definition of a radical.
Well, back in those days, anyone over 30 we couldn't trust. We did a lot of organizing on that premise. See, that was the big difference. What we did was for the community. We didn't work with them. And so looking back, we would have gone into the community itself and then explained to them why we were going to protest. We had a big impact, impact that showed that Asians weren't your model minority, that we were willing to rise up and stand for what we believed in was correct, what was right. And that was to preserve and protect the Chinatown International District. But in retrospect, yes, we could have did a better job. We could have reached out to those politicians, whether they're Asians or not, and to have allies.
He go out of his way to support young people to make sure that our next generation of leaders will be ready to carry the torch.
I was a high school student, and his kids were at the same high school as me, Hazen High School in Renton. And even then, as I began to get involved in student government and local politics, Frank Aragon was there bringing young people into the process, even at that time.
I see Frank everywhere. Throughout the last 50 years, I mean, he's involved at the state level, at the legislature, with the governor's office. I see him involved with city councils in Seattle and some of the other city councils within King County.
Give as much as you can in terms of your time and make these social changes rather than being on the sideline and doing nothing. I mean, that's one thing that I've learned, is to be accepting of what people can do for the movement. I don't expect them to join us in a march or join us in protest. But if they support us and can advocate for us on the sideline, that's even better.
First of all, it's about time that you receive this honor, Frank.
50 years is a long, long time. And so you really deserve this recognition.
Frank, thank you for all the things that you have done and will continue to do.
Thank you very much for all you have done for us, for the entire Asian community and people of color.
It's my pleasure to present Frank Aragon with the 2022 Odegaard Award.
Yeah, thank you, Rickey. I love you. Woo! When I was writing my speech, my wife reminded me to, one, be respectful. Cindy Domingo just told me no cussing. So that cut my speech down to 1 minute. I remember I too am a product of FEOP. My student number was 714-1429. My King County booking number was, just kidding. Ray Pasqua, donated $1,000, and he said, "Brother, that's for you." And I says, "Well, why don't you give me the cash?" Anyway, I want to thank you. I had just lost by 10 votes in my race for a seat on the Newcastle City Council when I received an email from the office of Rickey Hall, the vice president of OMA&D, asking me to meet with him for lunch. I never turned down a lunch. My wife, Phyllis, and I had lunch with Rickey, where he informed me that I was the 2022 Charles E. Odegaard Award recipient. I was stunned and surprised. Me, who was arrested in jail for occupying Schmitz Hall. Me, who spent more time at the hub than at the library. Me, who, with other members of the Asian Student Coalition, planned our protests and demonstrations at the Ethnic Cultural Center. Whether it was with Selmy Domingo, Al Sugiyama. I mean, we had fun times back then. I was indeed surprised when I was presented with this award. In accepting this award, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the 10 lives lost to a hail of bullets from a white supremacist in Buffalo, New York. 10 lives gone down because of the color of their skin. When I reflect on that and the great replacement theory that white terrorist espoused, I am reminded of I-200 and its ban on so-called preferential treatment based on race. Our beloved university could have easily used it as an excuse to dismantle OMA&D and EOP, but it did not. It stood strong in its support of President Charles E. Odegaard's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. It didn't succumb to playing it safe. It shouted for all to hear its continued commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that commitment continues in the present under President Anamari Kausei, the Board of Regents, and the Friends of EOP. I want to acknowledge the University of Washington Alumni Partnership Club, OCA Asian Pacific American Advocates Greater Seattle Chapter, Asian Pacific Islander Americans for Civic Empowerment, and the Puget Sound Advocates for Retirement Action for keeping me engaged and involved. I want to give special thanks to Dr. Elena Minami of the University of Washington Heart Center for my heart transplant that I received almost 14 years ago. And to my donor's family, I am indeed blessed. From Dr. Elena Minami, she had written a letter for me that in case I get arrested, that I should be able to take my meds. And I remember Cindy Domingo, who was then working for Larry Gossett, that Frank, if you do get arrested, just give me a call. Larry will make sure you get to take your meds. So lastly, I would like my family, extended family, to stand and be recognized. I've been married for 51 years. Yeah, that's what I said. Wow. I owe so much to them for always having my back, and I love them so very much, and I love you all for your support of the Educational Opportunity Program. So again, like with Angela, without EOP, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have gotten a degree. I wouldn't have been able to attend the University of 1,000 years, the University of Washington. Go Dogs! Thank you.
Do I have to yell? Okay, let's say. Frank, you could just close out the program. I don't know how you come after somebody like you. Thank you for your contributions to this community, your recognition of the UW's role in that, to your family as well. You are a gem, you are a jewel, and we are so proud to have you as part of our family. All right, so how you holding up? Feeling a little pumped? I mean, look at what you got tonight. You heard from some incredible students. You got to laugh. You got to maybe think back and reminisce on loved ones lost and opportunities that may have passed you by, but know that your support of this program and of celebration year after year after year produces these wonderful shining examples. So on behalf of the Office of Minority Affairs and Diversity and the Friends of the Educational Opportunity Program, my name is Angela King. I want to thank you all so much for coming out tonight. It was so wonderful to see you and be in your presence again, to feel your energy. Thank you for your contributions, and know if you're not in a position right now to give, you do have that code. You get home and you think about it and you say, oh, there's fun in the challenges. Titus, thank you, Titus. Then go ahead and be a goat. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful night, drive safely, and we will see you next year. All the best.